Hello and welcome to my video. I'm Sarah Chatello from Sassy Paper Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you how to get started with heat embossing. So what is heat embossing exactly? Well, these are some cards that I did yesterday on my Facebook Live, and I usually go live, or on my VIP Live, sorry, excuse me. I usually go live in my VIP group on Sunday, but with the holidays, I went live on Monday. To see that video and how I made these cards, join my VIP group. The link is in the description of this video. But I heat embossed these hearts and the sentiment, and you can see that shine on them. So heat embossing for me just adds that extra bit of wow to your projects, and it is super easy to do. So I'm going to show you how to get started, and these are the basic things you'll need. So you need a heat tool that heats up the embossing powder. You need a Versamark ink pad, and that is a clear watermark stamp pad, and that's what you put your powder on. So I'm going to be doing a little demonstration. I have an embossing buddy. Stampin' Up! No longer sells these, but you can find them on Amazon, or you can use a used dryer sheet. Make sure it is used because you don't want a new one. That residue from the dryer sheet will get onto your project. And now Stampin' Up! Carries two different packs of embossing powders. They use some individually, which is why all of mine look different, but they have the basics pack, which has black, white, and clear powder, and I'm going to show you what all of those look like, and then a metallics pack, which has silver, gold, and copper. So I'm going to show you quickly how to get started with this. And also, if you are looking for the things in the catalog, they are on page 128 of your annual catalog. And there are some examples here of what everything does. There's also embossing paste. We're not going to get into that today. We're just going to be talking about the heat embossing. So if you need an annual catalog, there's a request form in the description of this video. Go ahead and click that. I will be more than happy to send you out a catalog. So let's get started. We're going to start on just regular basic white cardstock for right now. So I have basic white. It's a little dingy. It's okay. It's a scrap. I'm going to take my Emboss Buddy. You can take your used dryer sheet and just rub it over your cardstock. The reason we're doing this is to get rid of any static that might be on the cardstock. If you have static on your cardstock, the powder will stick to it and it's not going to go, things aren't going to go where you want them to go. So, and I'm also going to be using the Amazing Silhouette stamp set. This comes out January 4th in the new January to June mini catalog. If you need one of those catalogs, you can also click on that request form. I'm going to use this butterfly and a D block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, I'm going to show you on white cardstock the different colors besides white and clear. Because it's not real, white and clear will not show up on white cardstock unless you do a different type of technique, which again, this is just the basics. So I inked up my butterfly with the Versamark. I'm going to stamp it just like a regular stamp. I know you can't see that, but there is a butterfly there. And now I just have a piece of just printer paper that I have folded in half. I'm going to put that underneath my stamped image. And I'm going to take the black embossing powder and just go over it. Now, some people get dollar store containers to keep their powders in, which is fine. I'm going to need a little bit more, so I'm just going to scoop that up. And I'm just tapping off the excess. I think I need a little bit more. Again, tapping off the excess. And if you find you get little bits where you don't want them, a nice little trick to do is I take a paintbrush and just kind of brush it away. Because what happens if that's left on your cardstock, it's going to emboss there. So you don't want that. So I'm just going to put this back in the jar, and you'll see why my jars are so old, because this stuff lasts forever. So my jar is still half full. I probably had this jar, at least 5 years. I did get some on my desk. I'm just going to brush that away. And now the magic. So I'm going to take my heat tool, and it has two settings, number one, number two. Number one is more for like drying ink. So if you have a really juicy ink pad and want to dry the ink, use setting one. For heat embossing, I always use setting two. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to try to lift it up so you can see the magic happen. It's starting to change and turn shiny, which is what we want. And I'm going to go down because it doesn't normally take this long. It's because I'm doing it a different way. Now that is all heat embossed. So now it's nice and shiny and textured and detailed and pretty. So now I'm going to show you how to do this with a few sentiments. So I have the special moment stamp set, and this is a celebration stamp set. You can earn this with a $100 order starting January 4th. So I'm just going to pick a random sentiment here. I can't read backwards. Just a card to say you're amazing. I'm going to grab another D block. And this time I'm going to use one of the metallics. And then we will do the sentiment again in black. So when I'm doing multiple cards or multiple sentiments or images, I like to kind of do them all at the same time. So I stamped on my basic white. Now I have a piece here of basic black. I'm going to stamp on there. And this is also where you could go in with your white or clear powder. I'm just going to do those two for now. On this guy here, I think I'm going to go with silver. And I didn't use the Emboss Buddy on the black. So maybe that'll show you why we should use it, because I might get a lot on there. So see, there's so I think I pushed a little too hard on the stamp, but you know what? I'm just showing you the technique, so it's fine. If you push too hard, you might get a muddy little saying there. And then I'll go in with the white on the basic black cardstock. And see, that one I didn't push too hard so you can actually see the words. Oh my goodness, I'm running out of room. Pour that back into the container. And this one is fairly new. I bought this at the end of last year, right when they stopped selling them individually. So, but it's full. It's going to last forever. So, okay, we're going to go back on setting 2. And on the silver, you're really going to get to see the magic. So I'm going to hold this one up. So I hope you got to see the magic of that. And like I said, I did push too hard. So the small words up top are a little bit muddled, but look how shiny and pretty that is. And then this is a great way to stamp on black cardstock, is heat embossing. And this one is also slightly shiny and it's bumpy, cool to the touch. So once you actually heat emboss, it's fine. I do want to mention that the heat tool does get very hot. It's like a hair dryer, but it gets very hot. So If you had kids or grandkids or anybody helping you craft, I would definitely recommend supervision using the heat tool, or just do it yourself because it does get hot. I've burned myself a couple times. But that is basically what I wanted to show you. Oh, and the clear emboss powder. So for that, I did a technique on my VIP group where you can use the clear emboss powder to stamp in any colors. But I wanted to show a little bit of that technique right now, of a different technique, which is called the emboss resist technique. So I do that a lot. I like to use the white Stampin' Powder, or I will use clear. We're going to use our butterfly again. I'm going to ink that up. And then I'm going to go over it with the clear powder this time. I'm going to set this back on my copy paper. And I know it's very hard for you to see, but there is powder there. And then we're going to heat emboss it, and I'm going to show you quickly the emboss resist technique. If you'd like to see more or a project made with this technique, I will be doing it live this Friday, New Year's Eve, at 4 p.m. on my Facebook page. So go ahead and follow me over there. The video will be available here on YouTube shortly after. So let me just emboss this. And I'm going to grab some Highland Heather and a blending brush. And like I said, that's dry now, so you can touch it, you can stamp over it, do whatever. I know you can't really see that. It is embossed and it's shiny. And this is just a little preview of what we'll be doing on my Facebook page on Friday. And then you just kind of swirl over it. I think I might need a darker color. Let me grab Gorgeous Grape. That's a darker purple. Yeah, that looks better. And then you can see how the embossed part is resisting the color. So then what I normally do too is I have a Kleenex handy, and I will rub it on the embossed parts and the ink just comes off. I don't have a Kleenex, so I'm just going to use my finger. But I'll be showing you more of that on my Facebook page and here on YouTube on Friday. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me, Sarah Chatello, on Facebook, or you can send me a message here on YouTube. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.